There is objection. We come now to questions for oral answer. Question number 1, in the name of Darroch Ball.
Thank you, sir. To the Minister for Social Development. Does she stand by all her statements?
The Honourable Anne Tolley.
Yes, when taken in context.
Order. Supplementary question, Darroch Ball.
Does she stand by her statement in relation to the Army-run limited service volunteer program that, quote, as the total number of young people on benefit drops, so too does the number of suitable clients who are likely to benefit from attending the LSV program, end quote?
The Honourable Anne Tolley.
Mr Speaker, in relation to where it's an accurate quote from me, yes, I have said in this House that as we've seen the number of young people on benefits drop, we have refined the numbers of young people who are suitable to go into that course.
Supplementary question, Darroch Ball.
How can she guarantee that demand for LSV places has actually reduced when she has admitted the Ministry doesn't even report on the number of applications for the course, and she is relying on just, quote, the likely number of young people at long-term risk of unemployment has reduced, end quote?
The Honourable Anne Tolley.
Mr Speaker, I rely on advice from officials who are working every day with these young people. And look, if the need arises, if the demand increases, then we'll have a look at it again.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Darroch Ball.
If she honestly believes in a direct evidence-based approach, then how can she prove that only 800 out of 25,000 unemployed youth are suitable for this course?
The Honourable Anne Tolley.
Well, as I said, Mr Speaker, I rely on advice from the officials and also from those who are working on a daily basis with young people. And we are conducting those courses, we are paying for those courses, and they're having a great effect on the young people involved.
Excellent. Excellent. Supplementary question, Darroch Ball.
Will she admit the Wellington LSV course wasn't shut down because of a supposed reduction in demand, but was because the 5-year lease of their facility ended on 1st of January this year? It was put up for sale in April, then coincidentally there was a cut to LSV in April, and the building was sold in June.
The Honourable Anne Tolley.
All I can say, Mr Speaker, that all of that is news to me.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Darroch Ball.
Shouldn't be. Does she have any immediate plans to further reduce the number of places in LSV? If so, why?
The Honourable Anne Tolley, either of those two
Mr.
supplementary
Speaker.
questions?
No, Mr Speaker. We have allocated 800 places. We are prepared to pay for 800 places. But we continue to look at whether we have the right young people going into that course, that it will help, and whether that then helps them to get employment when they have completed that course.
A
supplementary question, Darroch Ball.
How can the answer possibly be no? And how can she explain the reason why the Auckland-based program is now being moved to a temporary site, being a scout hall, and plans are currently underway to shut it down completely at the end of 2017?
The Honourable Anne Tolley.
Well, Mr Speaker, I don't know where this member gets his information from, but what I can say is that MSD is working in partnership with the Defence Force to provide this course and to support young people who are suitable for undertaking the LSV course, and not all are, in order to help them gain motivation, to gain some physical skills, and to prepare them for employment. And we will continue to do that. And the funding is in the 4-year plan out beyond 2017.
Point of order, sir.
Point of order, Darroch Ball.
There's a number of documents I wish to table, seek leave to table.
Order. Are they documents that... Order. Before I check, are they documents that are freely available to members?
No, sir.
An assurance that they're not? Then I'll listen very briefly to the documents. If there's too many, I'll deem that you're only trying to make a political point.
Well, they're all important, sir.
Order, I'm speaking, and then I will not decide to put the leave. So I'll invite the member to list the documents.
First is the OIA document from HQ NZDF titled Downsizing the Youth Development Unit, dated 14th of June 2015. The second is an OIA document from HQ NZDF titled Limited Service Volunteer Validation, dated 2014. I have 6 LSV operational group meeting minutes dated from 15th of April to the 19th of August 2015, which state the move of the LSV Auckland to a temporary scout hall and considerations underway to shut it down completely. Also, sir, the last is the lease agreement between NZDF and the Ministry of Education, dated 26th of June 2010, showing the expiry date of that lease being 1st January.
I'll put the leave sought to table that quantity of documents. Is there any objection? There is objection. Order. Question number 2, Grant Robertson.
Thank you, Mr.